Bam, here we go. New bike alert. Got a new bike here. Just went ahead and picked it up yesterday. Got a real good deal, 900 bucks. It's a 1981 Kawasaki KDX 175. Pretty stoked about it. Now, got it for a good deal because it doesn't run, which isn't ideal, but hey, we'll fix that up. So the guy said it ran last year. He used it to just rip around his little acreage. The carburetor probably needs to be clean. He said the gas is more than a year old, so definitely that's a possibility that it's just all gummed up in there. Right now we're just going to get started. Probably pull the carburetor off. Alright, so I got our bench set up here. Got some tools, got this little tray. I like to use these old baking trays to clean out the carburetors because then it holds all the fluids in and you can just easily dump it out. So now we're going to go ahead and pop this up on the stand. And I got to take this shield off to get to the carburetor. Okay, so right here, just going to start taking stuff apart. One screw. One, two screw. There we go. And that was pretty easy. Now we're at the carburetor. So now over here on the other side of the bike, this is your main fuel line. Shut the fuel off, and it's going to pop this off of the carburetor, put it in this bucket to catch the fluid. So there's the carburetor, screwdriver. I'm going to go ahead and undo the one screw, and then undo the other screw, undo this top little slide part, undo that all the way, and then once that is undone, it just pulls right out. Okay, we're not going to pull that out yet. Instead, we're going to pull the carburetor out first and then pop that out. So the boot simply just pops off, and the front one usually has a little ridge that it clips into. So that takes a little bit more effort to wiggle out. Pull that out. There we go. And now this slide comes out nicely. And there's the carburetor. Okay, so here we got the carburetor out. Leaking a little bit of fluid already. So I'm going to go ahead, tip it over, let it drain out of the lines, let it drain to the pan, and then I'm going to take Phillips screwdriver and undo the screws. It appears that there's only 2 screws, thought there would be 4. Be careful when you're doing this because you don't want to break the gasket. There's one. Do the other one. And there we go, into the carburetor. So keep these screws safe. And then just looking in the bowl here, doesn't look too bad usually, or sometimes there's some green stuff, but that's looking pretty good. These are just the floats, slide right up. And so looking at this, it honestly all seems to look correct. So I'm just going to go through it, pull all the jets out, and clean them up. Alright, so here we are. Got the bowl off, got my 6mm wrencher ratchet, cracked the main jet down here loose, and then just unscrew it. There we go. And then you want to just inspect everything. Make sure make sure all the holes you can see through those. And then here, this is the main jet. That one doesn't look like you can see through it, so that might be our issue. So I stuck a little wire through this jet, and now it's nice and clean. And you can see right through it. Alright, so here I'm just inspecting, seeing if all the needle and float work. So the way this works is there's this little bar that's the floats, and inside of there is the little needle, and that presses up on a seal to stop the gas from flowing into the bowl. So this is where the fuel comes from the gas tank into it, and it comes through that needle. So if you blow on here and you push up on this, it should stop the flow. So you see there, when I pressed up on it, it stopped the flow. So I'm guessing that's all good to go. Alright, so I got it all back together after testing that float. So hopefully when I put it back in, it all works. Alright, so we're outside now. Not really sure what was up with the carburetor there, but we're just going to go ahead and try and start it. Well, I'm not sure why the guy said it didn't run, because I did nothing to the carburetor and it just ran. So check some other dirt biking videos up here and stay tuned for the next one.